You're tuned to Arrow FM, your local community access radio station. The time now, 8 o'clock, time for another hour of the great music that came out in the 1960s with the 60s Nostalgia Show. The 60s Nostalgia Show is kindly sponsored by Cotter & Stevens, the electrical contractors down in Jellicoe Street in Martinborough. They've been contracting in the electrical field for a long time, whether that be private or commercial, plus also they're experts around the dairy shed and carving, starting to loom even closer, probably when they've got another 2 or 3 weeks before it really starts to happen. So any dairy farmers listening at tonight, if you want to have a look around your shed and if you think there needs to be some improvement, give Jim a ring at Cotter & Stevens and he'll come around and sort things out. Nothing really planned for the show tonight. I'll mark a few milestones and otherwise I'll just gaze blindly at what I brought down to see if I can pick something out that you'll enjoy. But meanwhile, let's sit back and listen to Al Kaiola and his orchestra, the theme song to The Magnificent Seven.
Steps to heaven. Just listen and you will plainly see. And as life travels on and things do go wrong, just follow steps 1, 2, and 3. Step 1, you find a girl you love. Step 2, she falls in love with you. Step 3, you kiss and hold her tightly. Yeah, that sure seems like heaven to me. Formula for heaven's very simple. Just follow the rules and you will see. And as life travels on and things do go wrong, just follow steps 1, 2, and 3. Step 1, you find a girl you love. Step 2, she falls in love with you. Step 3, you kiss and hold her tightly. Yeah, that sure seems like heaven to me. Just follow steps 1, 2, and 3.
From 1960 there, Eddie Cochran and 3 Steps to Heaven, and of course that was recorded by him just prior to a tour of the UK, and that tour featured him and Gene Vincent, and was the tour where Eddie Cochran was tragically killed in a car accident. He was being driven by a taxi driver to the airport who lost control, and Eddie Cochran lost his life right at the top of a pretty stellar career. That song came out in 1960, as well did this one, and this one's been requested by Di, and it's Brian Hyland and the old itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini, and I would say you would not have seen any of those in the wire wrapper in the last couple of days.
She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was as nervous as she could be. She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was afraid that somebody would say,
2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore.
it was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. An itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. So in the locker she wanted to stay.
2, 3, 4, stick around, we'll tell you more.
She was afraid to come out in the open, and so a blanket around her she wore. She was afraid to come out in the open, and so she sat bundled up on the shore.
2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore.
It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. An itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. So in the blanket she wanted to stay.
2, 3, 4, stick around, we'll tell you more.
Now she's afraid to come out of the water, and I wonder what she's gonna do. Now she's afraid to come out of the water, and the poor little girl's turning blue.
2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore.
It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. An itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. So in the locker she wanted to stay.
From the locker to the blanket, from the blanket to the shore, from the shore to the water.
Guess there isn't any more.
Yes, I think the weather over the last few days in the Wairarapa has meant there were not many bikinis on display. Righto, let's have a look at a few milestones, and before we look at the musical ones, here's a milestone or an interesting fact about two cricketers, and if you're a cricket tragic like I am, you might find this quite a coincidence. I noticed in the Times Age today they have the birthdays of famous people, and in cricket, a bowling partnership is just as important as a batting partnership in terms of performance. And one of the greatest bowling partnerships New Zealand cricket has had was that between Ewan Chatfield and Sir Richard Hadley. And the interesting thing I noticed is that those guys were born on this day, and they were born a year apart. Ewan Chatfield born in 1950, and Sir Richard Hadley in 1951. So no doubt after a gruelling day in the field, they celebrated their birthdays together in the years gone by. Right, talking of birthdays, on this day in 1943, Judith Durham, who was the lead vocalist and only a woman in the Aussie group The Seekers, was born. So let's kick things off with a song from The Seekers. Track there to highlight the harmonies of The Seekers, and we'll put it on to the third track and highlight the magnificent voice of Judith Durham.
Say goodbye, my own true lover, as we sing a lover's song. How it breaks my heart to leave you. Now the carnival is gone. High above, the dawn is waking, and my tears are falling rain. For the carnival is over, we may never meet again. Like a drum, my heart was beating, and your kiss was sweet as wine. But the joys of love are fleeting, for Pierrot and Columbine. Now the harbor light is calling. This will be our last goodbye. Though the carnival is over, I will love you till I die. this will be our last goodbye. Though the carnival is over, I will love you till I die. Though the carnival is over, I will love you till I
Great track there by The Seekers, The Carnival Is Over, and that was written by Dusty Springfield's brother, based on a Russian folk song. On this day in 1967, a private party is thrown at the Speakeasy Club in London by Vic Lewis for NEMS Enterprises to celebrate the Monkeys' successful concerts at Wembley Empire Pool. I presume that was a stadium and not a swimming pool. The guests include all of the Monkeys except Davy Jones, all the Beatles except Ringo Starr, Dusty Springfield, Eric Clapton, Lulu, and the members of Manfred Mann, The Who, and the Procol Harum, and I would say that would have been one great party, I would think. The Monkeys would have been in the UK at that time, probably celebrating a couple of hits that they'd had within the last 6 months, including this one.
I thought love was only true in fairy tales, for someone else, but not for me. Our love was out to get me. That's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer, I couldn't leave her if I tried. I thought love was more or less a given thing. Seems the more I gave, the less I got. What's the use in trying? All you get is pain. When I needed sunshine, I got rain. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Yes, I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. Said I'm a believer, yeah, 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 yeah. Said I'm a believer, yeah, I'm a believer. Said I'm a believer, yeah.
The Monkeys there, I'm a Believer, from the late 1966, early 1967. Right, the next two milestones are rather sad milestones, but there is a link between them. And in 1969, on this day, Brian Jones drowns while taking a midnight swim at his home at Cotchford Farm, Hartfield, East Sussex, and he was aged 27. His body was found at the bottom of the swimming pool by his Swedish girlfriend. The coroner's report stated death by misadventure and noted his liver and heart were heavily enlarged by drug and alcohol abuse. To this day, rumours persist that foul play was involved in the death of Brian Jones, and of course at that stage he had been booted out of the group that he founded, the Rolling Stones, and his life was a bit of a mess, and his death came just a few days prior to the Rolling Stones giving a free concert at London's Hyde Park. So I thought I'd play one song that highlights his ability as a slide guitarist, because he was a fanatic slide guitar fan, and maybe later in the program I'll play a song that highlights his ability on the sitar. But first off, here is the Rolling Stones and Little Red Rooster.
Rooster, too lazy to crow for day. I am the little red rooster, too lazy to crow for day. Keep everything in the farmyard upset in every way. The dogs begin to bark, hounds begin to howl. Dogs begin to bark, hounds begin to howl. Watch out, strange camp people, little red roosters on the prowl. If you see my little red rooster, please drive him home. If you see my little red rooster, please drive him home. No peace in the farmyard since my little red rooster's been gone.
Brian Jones there on slide guitar, and the Stones, A Little Red Rooster. Right, the next A milestone again is a sad one, and there is a link to Brian Jones as well. In 1971, the American singer, songwriter and poet Jim Morrison of The Doors is found dead, aged 27, in a bathtub in Paris, France. The cause of death being given as a heart attack. On the 25th anniversary of his death, his an estimated 15,000 fans gathered at his grave to pay their respects. And the other coincidence is that they were both aged 27, and there is a club that you don't really want to belong to, but it's a club of celebrities who also died at aged 27, and two of them that come off the top of my head are Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix, and there are several other well-known musicians or singers who have died at aged 27 and belong to a club that probably no one wants to belong to. Right, so here's The Doors and Light My Fire.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. The time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire.
The Doors there and Light My Fire, bringing the time to 29 minutes after 8 o'clock here on Arrow FM, and you're listening to the 60s Nostalgia Show, which is kindly sponsored by Connor and Stevens, the electrical maestros down in Jellicoe Street in Martinborough. Right, next up we'll have another track from the Rolling Stones to highlight Brian Jones playing the sitar.
Into black, no colors. black, with flowers and my love both never to come back. I see people turn their heads and quickly look away, like a newborn baby, it just happens every day. I look inside myself and see my heart is black. I see my red door, I must have it painted black. Maybe then I'll fade away and not have to face the facts. It's not easy facing up when your whole world is black. No more will my green seagull turn a deeper blue. I could not foresee this thing happening to you. If I look hard enough into the setting sun, my love will laugh with me before the morning comes. I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. Girls walk by dressed in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until my darkness goes.
When I looked at the Seekers album, when I was playing a couple of songs from them, I noticed in there's a version of a song they haven't played for quite a while. This song probably is one of my favourite Irish songs, and I think I'll make a dedication and a request to myself to play Whiskey in the Jar.
As I went a-walking on Kilgarra Mountain, I spied Colonel Pepper and his money he was counting. I rattled out my pistols and I drew forth my sabre, crying stand and deliver, for I am a bold deceiver. Mushering down da, whack fall the daddy-o, whack fall the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. The gold and silver coins, they looked so bright and shiny, oh, I took them home straightway and I gave them to my Molly. She vowed and she promised that she never would deceive me, but the devil's in the women, oh, you never can believe them. Mushering down da, whack fall the daddy-o, whack fall the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. But when I awoke between 6 and 7, the guards were all around me in numbers odd and even. I reached for my pistols, but alas I was mistaken. My pistols had been fired and a prisoner I was taken. Mushering down da, whack fall the daddy-o, whack fall the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. They put me in the jail without judge or writing for robbing Colonel Pepper, oh, on Kilgarra Mountain. But they didn't take my fists, so I knocked the sentry down and bade farewell to the jail in Sligo town. Mushering down da, whack fall the daddy-o, whack fall the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Some people take delight in fishing and in bowling, no others take delight in their carriages a-rolling. But I take delight in the juice of the barley and courting pretty girls till the morning so early. Mushering down da, whack fall ushering and down down. Hey, white fall the daddy-o, white fall the daddy-o, there's whiskey, oh whiskey in the jar.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? And in the mirror I can see your pretty face. And now I'm sorry what I've done to you. Those few harsh words like we agree. I'd give the world my love to have you back again once more. Put back the clock for just a few hours, so we can wander once more through those warm summer showers. And mirror, mirror on the wall, the whispers come back and recall, yes, the happiness that we once knew before. I'm trying to tell you that I'm not just pretending now to get you back any old how. And I will prove to you how strong my love can be.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Pinkerton's Assorted Colours there and Mirror, Mirror. Right, next we'll have two in a row, I think, of country rock, starting off with the Flying Burrito Brothers and Christine's tune.
She's a devil in disguise. You can see it in her eyes. She's telling dirty lies. She's a devil in disguise. In disguise. Now a woman like that, all she does is hate you.
The Flying Burrito Brothers there, and Devil in Disguise, otherwise known as Christine's tune. And while that was on, someone was trying to get through, and as I said before, unfortunately the phone ain't working. It rings, but nothing else happens. Graham Parsons, of course, was the guy who formed the Flying Burrito Brothers, and he was also on a great album that the Byrds put out a few years prior to that, the album called A Sweetheart of the Rodeo, and here's a Bob Dylan tune from that album.
Clouds so swift, rain won't lift, gate won't close, railings froze. Get your mind off winter time, you ain't going nowhere. Ooh-wee, ride me high, tomorrow's the day, my bride's gonna come. Oh, oh, are we gonna fly down in the easy chair? I don't care how many letters they sent. The morning came, the morning went. Pack up your money, pick up your tent. You ain't going nowhere. Ooh-wee, ride me high. Tomorrow's the day, my bride's gonna come. Oh, oh, are we gonna fly down in the easy chair? Buy me a flute and a gun that shoots, tailgates and substitutes. Strap yourself to a tree with roots, you ain't going nowhere. Ooh-wee, ride me high, tomorrow's the day, the bride's gonna come. Oh, oh, are we gonna fly down in the easy chair? Now Genghis Khan, he could not keep all his kings supplied with sleep. We'll climb that hill, no matter how steep, when we get up to it. Ooh-wee, ride me high, tomorrow's the day, the bride's gonna come. Oh, oh, are we gonna fly down in the easy chair? Ride me high, tomorrow's the day, my bride's gonna come. Oh, oh, are we gonna...
You're tuned to Arrow FM, your local community access radio station, and you're listening to the 60s Nostalgia Show, which is kindly sponsored by Cotter and Stevens from Martinborough. Right, next up we've got the Beatles and a Paperback Writer.
Paperback writer. to hold you. Had you gone, you knew in time we'd meet again, for I told you. Ooh, you were meant to be near me. Ooh, and I want you to hear me say we'll be together every day. I got to get you into my life. What can I do? What can I be? When I'm with you, I wanna stay there. If I'm true, I'll never leave, and if I do, I know the way there. Ooh, you were meant to be near me. Ooh, and I want you to hear me say we'll be together every day. I got to get you into my life. I got to get you into my life. I was alone, I took a ride. I didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another kind of man there. Ooh, and suddenly I see you. Did I tell her that I need you? And every single day of my life, I need you, baby. Every single day of my life, baby. I need you, baby.
Another Beatles song there, and performed by Cliff Bennett. And the Rebel Rousers, Got to Get You Into My Life. Next up, we'll have the Mamas and the Papas singing about lovely California.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray, I've been for a walk on a winter's day, I'd be safe and warm if I was in LA.
The Dave Clark 5 there, and you've got what it takes, bringing the time to, let's see, 5 minutes to 8 o'clock, time for one more, and hopefully we can squeeze all this one. It's a Spencer Davis group, and keep on running.
Keep on running, keep on hiding. One fine day I'm gonna be the one to make you understand. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be your man. Keep on running, running from my arms. One fine day I'm gonna be the one to make you understand. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be your man. Everyone is talking about me. It makes me feel so bad. Everyone is laughing at me. It makes me feel so sad. So keep on running. Hey, hey. All right. Yeah. Keep on running, running from my arms. One fine day I'm gonna be the one to make you understand. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be your man. Everyone is talking about me. It makes me feel so sad. Everyone is laughing at me. Make me feel so bad. Keep on running, running from my arms. One fine day I'm gonna be the one to make you understand. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be your man. Hey, come on. Make me feel so good. I wanna be your man. All right. Come on, baby. I wanna be your man. You know you make me feel so good. You know you make me wanna shine, baby. Come on. Oh, come on, baby.
The Spencer Davis group there, keep on running, bringing to a close another edition of the 60s Nostalgia Show, which was kindly sponsored by Cotter and Stevens, the electrical contractors down in Jellicoe Street in Martinborough. And the program was first broadcast all over the wonderful Wairarapa on Arrow FM 92.7.